I'll be building this van on a budget with as many recycled and reclaimed materials as possible. Join us as we convert this blank canvas into our new dream home equipped with everything needed for full-time van life on the road. Good afternoon guys, and welcome to the second part of our van build. I'm actually sat in the woods right now. I've been doing a bit of forest bathing. It's good for the old mental health. But before we get stuck into the van build, I'm actually going to share just a little bit of footage from this woodland because it's so beautiful in here right now. The sun's going down and it's just so peaceful and tranquil. So we're going to be continuing from the last video, which means finishing off the fireplace. We still need a couple more of the porcelain tiles to put in around the fire, and we also need to finish off the log store space which is underneath the fire. But yeah, in this video we finish off that whole area, and we even start building the bench, which is going to be the bottom third of the bed. So after some peaceful woodland footage, we'll get stuck straight in and get back into building. So as you can see, we've got all this lino stuck down now, and it's cut around everything. We've got this little hatch that's all been cut. We've kind of just brought the lino up to the edge. We'll probably bring the carpet round and then either put like some sort of, you know, like right angle seal thing covering that, or probably some driftwood or something around it to frame it. Might look quite cool. But yeah, that's all in place now. We've got our water containers have arrived, 25 litres each, and they're stackable. They do actually fit under the counter when stacked, but once we have the counter wood on here, I don't think it'll be enough for the, you know, like the hose to come out and go to the pump. So the next step, we need to put a tile up the back here, so it's going to need 4 holes drilled. There's beams back here somewhere, which I should have marked out really. I'll find them. But anyway, yeah, there's 2 beams back there that we're going to screw into, and then the other tile is going to slot in here, and it's going to need to be shortened. So that's today's plan. If I can get those 2 tiles up, I'll be happy, I reckon. And yesterday we did the 10mm for the bolts to go through, but that's not necessary this time, so we'll be doing this 8mm. Pile of holes. Not going to film it because it's boring. I'm just drilling. Bang, bang, bang. See you in a minute. Sorry the lighting's so poor, but it is chucking it down outside, so I'm working with just a little lamp. But 4 holes. So it's time for this tile to go up. Now, we had the idea to use leather washers because they're pretty heat resistant and soft. It's going to let us put one either side of the tile, and then the vibration of the van should stop the tile from being kind of like rubbed on metal washers or bolts or anything else that we're going to use to attach it. Pick the roundest ones for the front. I've put one of these metal ones on, and then we've got the leather ones. So then the screw is going to go through the tile, and we're going to have another leather one, and then a metal one, and then into the wood. And that means the tile's going to be pinched between these 2 leather ones, which will dampen the vibrations of the van a bit. That's what's going to happen on these bottom ones. We go in here and here, but because the wood sticks out a little bit, which is intentional to make an air gap, it means the ones further up, there and there, all we're going to do is where we've got this one metal one, we'll probably have 5 or 6 in order to space it from the wall a little bit more. So I'm going to put these in now, and hopefully we can get the tile nice and straight and padded to protect it from the vibrations of the van. There we go, stack of 10 washers on each of these top ones. Has made a nice little air gap. Something I should have mentioned as well, I laid a little bit of lino down, just like haven't glued it or anything, just to create a tiny little gap, so that when I pull this out, the 2 tiles aren't going to rattle on each other. Then I'm going to take heat sealant and run all the way along that edge just to fill that gap in. But that is the second tile in place. It looks pretty good. So I've just pulled the lino out, and as you can see there's like a 2mm gap all the way along, which is perfect. Good morning guys, so today is the day that I need to angle grind an edge off of one of these tiles. So I've measured the distance from that corner to the front of this tile, and then from behind here to the front of the counter, and then I've marked them here and here. So this is the bit we're going to be cutting off. So I need to take an angle grinder, which I've never used before, with a diamond blade on it, and cut all the way along that. I think the way you're supposed to do it is kind of do a score all the way along and then keep making the score deeper and deeper. You don't just do it in like one pass. And we've got this 110 volt angle grinder. 110 makes it a bit safer if I cut through the wire, or if it gets wet or something, it's not going to kill me. And then we've just got this brand new diamond blade on it. There's 4 of these for £4 from Aldi. So I'll be definitely wearing plenty of protective gear in case this decides to explode on me. So originally I was going to cut this tile wet, But after watching a few more videos online, I've decided I'm going to go in dry. Won't use that term. So after watching a few videos online, I've actually decided to cut this tile dry rather than wet. I just got to take it nice and slow so the blade doesn't get too hot. I've got my safety goggles, and I've got some earplugs, so yeah, I'm just going to go at this now. Hopefully it doesn't chip and hopefully it doesn't break. There we go, cut to size. Now, I haven't flipped this over yet, so I haven't seen the damage. I presume there's a bit of chipping, but hopefully not too much. Luckily, with the way that this is going in, we've got a bit of overhang. Hopefully it's enough to hide this. But if not, we're also doing silicone in the corner, so I think this is going to look absolutely fine. Gonna have to get it in, moment of truth, and see if it actually fits. So as you can see, the edge is really chipped. It's actually going to tuck around here, so we should be okay. So now it's the very last chance of messing up the porcelain work. Got 4 holes to drill, yet again. All I've done is sit the tile in position, then come around the side, and taking a Sharpie and just drawn around the supports and where they all are. So then, you know, you've got this corner. What I've also done is where these 2 screws come through, I did a mark here, and I've carried it along to make sure that when I come through I'm not going to drill straight into one of the screws. So yeah, that's the 4 corners. Time to get drilling. Like I said, what we did was just stacked a load of washers behind. It was a bit fiddly. What we did in this bottom corner is actually wrap the washers with the silver tape, so it was like one wedge, because you just couldn't balance them and hold them at the same time. But we've got a nice air gap running all the way along. There's a little bit of height difference here, but it's not going to matter because our counter is going to come out a little bit so that we can like hang stuff off of it. So that'll all get hidden anyway. Now we've got to get to it. We've got to get the flue on, find out where it's going to go through. Luckily this panel work that was done by the previous owner is cut here, so we should be able to take that out nice and easily. At this point we realised we really should finish the area behind the flue before installing it. Because we're not ready to work with this, we're just going to tape it up again just to make sure that there's no moisture getting up there, because once it's up there, it's going to get sealed up there. Good afternoon guys, so it's been absolutely ages since we worked on our van. If you saw our video a couple of videos back called The Good, The Bad and The COVID, that explains what went on. It needs some serious repairs, needs a new cylinder head, and well, it's a big job. But we've kind of thought there's no point in hanging around to wait until it's fixed to build the van. We're just going to keep converting and hope that the bills don't pile up too much. So today's mission is to continue from where we left off, and I'm going to make a little wood surround where the log store is basically. And my mum's just hunted out a little blowtorch that she's got, which is awesome, so it means we can do some of that kind of char effect on the wood. So we've got this little, it's just like a gas tank with a wee thing that screws on the top, and yeah, that's a little blowtorch. So it's going to make it look really cool. So this is the gap that we need to fill in, and we're going to use these slats, and they're just going to sit in like that. So the first step is to sand these down and then burn them. Now that I've sanded all those little slats, we're just going to cut them down to size, burn them, get them screwed on, and it should look awesome. So all I'm going to do now is mark up the back of these bits of wood so they're the right size. So we've just checked that they all fit and they fit fine. So now it's time to blowtorch. And that's them burnt and sanded. So just a wee dollop like that. It doesn't need to be much, it's just to stop it from slowly slipping down. So I'm going to slot it in here. Try not to let it touch the wood until it's in position. Press it in. So there it is, all screwed in, and we've got these little spacers at the back here just to hold it while the no more nails set. And that is looking absolutely brilliant. Good afternoon guys, it's a bit nippier today, but we're going to crack on with the van as always. I think the plan of attack is just to finish around the fire. We do want to get this bit up here sorted soon, but we realise we want a big man light. If you haven't seen our van tour, then that's a big man light. We want one of them on the new van. So it's going to be a lot easier to bolt through the metal up here and get that attached on the outside before we line and insulate and all the rest. So what we're doing today is continuing work on the fire. So all we've done this morning is burnt that edge to make it match the rest, and then we've got this beautiful piece of wood and burnt it and oiled it. It looks fantastic, such good colours. So this is going to sit on here. Because this wood is so thin, we're a little bit worried about this wood splitting. So we just got one of these little, I don't know what they're called. When we were burning it, it's caused the wood to bow, so hopefully when we pin this down it's not just going to split right down the middle, because it's such a beautiful bit of wood. I think it'll be okay. We're going to cover the front with the same as this, and then we've got more bits of this that we're going to run up the wall. Exact same effect, exact same method. So we'll see you in a minute once we've got that done. So last night we finished the log store, so I'm going to show you that now. We're so happy with the outcome. Using that little blowtorch to darken the wood is just, oh, we love it. We absolutely love it. So yeah, let me show you this. We still need to lift out all this silicone because of the condensation that's been coming in here. It's all got wet and it's went like light grey. So we need to lift all that up, but we kind of thought there's no point in doing that until we finish this whole section up here, because it's probably just going to continue dripping. So yeah, it looks a little bit naff because of all that grey, chalky silicone. But we're so happy with the way the tiles look and so happy with that woodwork. Hopefully it's a sign of things to come and we can start moving further into the van now. We've still got this bit to do and it all needs like insulated and stuff in there, but we can't do it until we get the light bar on, which I ordered last night, so hopefully that's going to be here in a couple of days. It's just annoying because like sometimes it's hard to figure out what it is you want to do, and what I want to do is get the light bar on and finish that area above the cab, but you just can't do it, and we can't put the flue in until we've done that. So yeah, sometimes you just like, you're ready to go, but you don't know what to do. Okay, so I've got a bit of a template together now of how the bed and the bench is going to work. I'm going to show you what we've got laid out, and then I'm going to screw it in, and it's going to be good to start seeing some foundations on the other side of the van. So we built the kitchen out, and we're building the bed back, and then we're going to work with what space left in the middle. Seems like the easiest way to do it. So a bit of imagination is needed. These are just wedged in, ignore the heights on this, it's all ski width, but it shows you roughly how high the bed's going to be. The mattress will be on top of that, should give us loads of headroom. The bed's going to come out to here, and then there's going to be slats that pull out to make the bottom third, and then it's going to push away, and the bottom piece of mattress will be separate so that we can drop it down onto this bench. So we've got a leg in each corner, and then it goes to the box. Just put in a little bit of wood there just to create, oops, I really need to screw it in, but that's just to create a bit more support, and the same on that side. So we're going to get this screwed into the wall, get all the legs secured, and that'll be the framework for the bench. Sometimes it pays to just pick a corner, so like I started from here, and you just have to plan from that corner. So we knew it needed to have a leg, then you know that it needs to have support that way for the wood that comes out, you have to have the beam coming this way, then you want support there. So you sort of just pick a point and work away from that point, figuring out where all the supports need to be. So I'm going to get all this screwed in so it's a bit more secure. That's the bench taking shape. So what we've done on this back beam, we've screwed a big bit of wood to the underside of that to put support for these slats. This section is going to be boxed off, and likewise on this side. This section from here to here is going to be storage underneath. So I'm working inside of the light again because it's raining, but I've cut these 2 bits of wood and I've just found 4 of these wee hinges. So I think what I might actually do, instead of just screwing this down, is actually putting it on hinges so that you can get into the space that's going to be done there. So I'm going to attach those hinges. So I bought this hobby drill years ago now. This thing is so handy. So here's an example. The screws I used were slightly too long and they've come through the wood, which, you know, I probably should have thought about. But I can just put on this little metal saw blade and just chop them off. And it makes awesome sparks, which adds to the fun, I suppose. So apparently the postman has just arrived with a really long package. So innuendos aside, you're going to have to tune in next week to find out what the postman had delivered. I don't want to do the whole like and subscribe stuff, but these videos are going to be coming out as and when they're ready, so if you don't want to miss any, do make sure and subscribe. We've got plenty more to bring you, hopefully a lot more tips and tricks that should help you build your van, or maybe you'll enjoy watching this build and just getting some inspiration. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time.